pseudo-historical otome game inspired by the legend of King Arthur, which will make you thirst for the Knights of the Round Table.
Oh yes, I already saw their revealing outfits.
To everyone's surprise, a girl pulls the magical sword from the stone, which is supposed to choose the new king. So in a blink of an eye, the MC Arl is the new king, or Princess King, as they call her, as queens aren't a thing. Immediately she has to leave her family and friends and move into the castle. A random girl who has been taught fighting by her father, but apart from that knows nothing about reigning, her country or war. That's why the long common route is filled with the Knights of the Round Table showing her around. This is the garden. This is the arena. We fight here. And they are also to teach her how to be a good king. Queen. Princess King. But at the beginning they cannot accept an average girl as a Queen Princess King, until of course they see her in a revealing dress.
Now that's a Queen Princess King for you.
Now everyone can see her talent.
Which certainly has nothing to do with certain feminine body parts.
Certainly not. It's all about how that dress reveals her quality as a Queen Princess King. As she is finally allowed to go to war, which she has been fighting for, to convince the rather conservative knights to let a woman enter a battlefield. Our dear girl is greatly surprised that in war actually people die, because all she wants is a world of peace and harmony, where no one has to die and go to war.
Yeah.
She can choose to stick to one of the Knights of the Round Table.
Are they hot?
The strongest among them is Lancelot, the polite and reserved gentleman knight who can only see her as a king and nothing more. And because of that, he actually seems a bit boorish to me, as he took way too long to admit his feelings, and his revelation didn't blow my mind either.
But here's the most naked scenes, and that's why you actually like him, right?
Gawain, the quick-tempered and blushy strong teddy bear, who had the most romantic route in my opinion, due to his temper, and because in his route they spent the most time together without being distracted by some boring war plot.
And because you like a fierce muscle man, I guess he earns your most sexy award.
Tristan, the mysterious Ossan, who only is loyal to the deceased king and now has trouble finding a new purpose in life. His route had the most interesting plot to me, that challenged Tristan and the MC for some really nice character development.
Sure, you just like that he's older and the horniest of them all, falling totally in love with her voluminous character.
Mordred, the flirty yet sensitive supporter of hers, who wants to make himself a name in order to find a wife. But sadly, the pacing of his romance felt off to me. Too quick, too sudden, too unrelatable.
At least he flirts with you a lot, so what are you complaining about?
And Galahad, the elegant tsundere, who loves flowers and saying the opposite to his feelings, which caused the most adorable confession scene, and one of the more important plot revelations.
This time you can take the upper hand in pinning this boy down.
After Galahad Merlin unlocks, the flirty and teasing legendary mage, now in a finger's reach, literally.
You like touching and being touched, do I see that right? You're so simple, because I know there's a lot of physical contact involved.
Though he's locked, he isn't the true route, which is hidden in the extra section, finally revealing why Arl became king in the first place. Queen, Princess, King.
That didn't involve any icha. Boring.
The story is heavily inspired by the legend of King Arthur, but obviously gender swapped, and the similarities are rather coincidental than really systematic. The overarching truth bears some resemblance to the legend, and some characters were slightly similar, like the strong knight Lancelot. But if you're looking for an historically accurate game, Princess Arthur is most certainly not what you're looking for. It does neither stay true to the legend, nor to the medieval life of a king. Queen, you know.
Still trying to hide the true character of the game. It's about hot knights and thirsty maidens.
The game is half war plot, going to war, talking about war, plotting how to war, and half thirsty knight meeting a girl for the first time.
Did you say thirsty?
The pacing of this mixture though is pretty off. The common route is filled with sightseeing through the castle and having chats with the knights, meeting some fairy tale beings. In the character routes, at first, nothing happens. Maybe some war talk here and there, but... Until in the last chapter of each route, everything happens. Which means you'll get a long monologue about the knight's trauma or the villain's motive. And after that, the conflict is solved. Happy end. What happens to the country from now on, how Arl develops as a princess king, is absolutely of no importance. She got smooched by the knight of her dreams. What else is there to wish for?
Nothing, stop complaining.
Personally, I honestly wouldn't mind the smooch and aunt structure.
There you go.
If it wasn't emphasized throughout the game, how important it is to her to become a worthy king. But then to completely forget about her character development, not even letting her study about politics and stuff a bit, just feels contradictory. I wouldn't expect an average girl to be the perfect princess king from the beginning, but I would expect her to do more than just say she's gonna do her best, and instead actually do something to improve her skills, not only in the bedroom.
That was a good one.
The only route where I truly felt she developed as a king was in Tristan's route, who also got his fair share of character development. But in the other routes, the MC as a person totally takes a backseat. As plot-heavy as this game is, as unbalanced and badly paced it felt to me. There is a heavy plot with heavy topics. There is a gruesome war going on, touching upon bloody and more mature themes. But in the end, none of it matters, as it all gets solved in the last of the 8 chapters of this overall quite long game. So there would have been time to elaborate more on the plot, to give characters more room to develop. But it just wasn't used and wasted in rather repetitive dialogue.
Totally didn't pay any attention. Something about war.
But as dragging as the pacing is, as hot are the nights. And when the romance scenes come, they come steamy and they come naked.
Finally we're talking.
There aren't a lot of romantic scenes, but I was satisfied with them.
At least they were hot.
Be it the muscular bodies of the mature knights, passionate confessions or kiss scenes after a surprising kabedon. So if you ignore the plot, you can certainly play Princess Arthur for some sweet romance, which unlike the plot, was for the most parts well paced and relatable for me, yet really doesn't take the center of the game, though it definitely should have. The art is also a double-edged legendary sword.
You really think you're funny.
While I personally bought the game for the voice actors like Yang from Pure Fiore, Iki from Amnesia, Ignis from Café Enchanté, Enishi from Kengakimi, who really made Merlin worth playing. And even my boyfriend was impressed hearing him and immediately fell for him.
Can you, introduce us?
Xian from Shu no Viesh.
Ooh, bad boy.
And last but not least, Enma from Tengoku Struggle.
He's hot though.
A really overall talented voice cast to give the characters so much life and make the romance scenes even more heart-fluttering.
Can't deny that.
But on the other hand, the CGs weren't to my liking at all. Again, I appreciate a lot of naked scenes with Lancelot, but my overall impression of the CGs were off physique and simple design. Though the romance scenes were staged well and every Kabe or Yukadon got its own CG, which made the overall not too romantic game definitely more romantic and thus more enjoyable for me.
You really live for all your pinning down scenes, do you?
I also was slightly disappointed by the music, as it didn't give me medieval vibes at all. And I expected more tunes like in Crimson Flower, for example. But I shouldn't expect much from a director who wants to sell me this as a medieval ballroom. The Japanese level was easier than expected and suitable for intermediate learners.
By the way, Len, I really love your t-shirts.
Oh, thanks! You can buy it on Amazon.
Oh, nice!
That also means you can send it back if you don't like it. But I do like my shirts.
How convenient, without any risk, and I can even support your channel. And then I can also brag about my Japanese skills and share that I'm an otome fan with all my friends. The Vita and the Switch. Hi guys. How amazing. So I'm gonna watch this video till the end and then I'm gonna check out the link in your description box, right? And while I'm at it, I'm also gonna start to buy all the games I buy from Amazon Japan, or basically everything I need from Amazon Japan, through your affiliate link.
Sure, thanks, enjoy!
That's such a nice deal. I can get you t-shirts, I can support you without spending additional money, which I think is really practical, you know. You have my support, girl. Back to the review, and thanks for helping me learn Japanese with the otome games, I guess.
Also thanks to my patrons who support me so much, so I can afford spending time and money to review all these games. Princess Arthur has an interesting premise, but quickly reveals itself as an otome game at heart.
That's what I'm here for.
This game doesn't try to be historically accurate or tell a complex plot, but it's about the fun of being a queen and being admired by the thirsty and sometimes naked knights.
Oh yeah, naked. Ooh.
The characters are likable and the romance sweet, but to my confusion it takes the backseat compared to the rather dull and simple plot, which is unraveled and resolved in the last chapter of each route. Almost as if this wannabe plot wants to hide, this is a game for thirsty maidens who want to date thirsty knights.
Which I would call myself part of.
But next time, please cut the plot and just give me the thirst. Or give me some real plot.
Now we finally understand each other.
Like in Biroshana Senki, which is indeed highly historically accurate, despite their gender-swapped heroine, and manages to balance plot and romance way better. So if you are looking to date historical figures, Biroshana is the game you don't want to miss. I only play to get the horny FD. Still here. Back to horny jail, horny Len. Shoo. Shoo. Shoo.